Hi, hello. It's 7 o'clock, so I'm here. 7 o'clock on a Thursday, so I'm here. I'm tired, but I digress. Slim at Semm. Gonna keep streaming every Tuesday and Thursdays. And for folks that have been paying attention, just a reminder: X-Men '97 season 2 is gonna start soon. I believe next week Wednesday, and every Thursday I plan to do very in-depth recap, commentary, how I'm feeling about the episode, breakdown type shit, type thing. So just keep that in mind. Thursdays, if you're a fan of X Men, I'm I'm a huge fan of X Men. I loved X Men '97 season one, and the fact that I'm gonna be streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays for the foreseeable, um, great opportunity for me to create some content around the new season of X Men and trying to build on the hype with people about the new season. All right, so what are we talking about today? So I would like to talk about two things today. And if you look in the comment, like the little description for the episode, all I put was the word premium because that seems to be the primo word for two big pieces of news that have been coming out recently on the like nerd waves, and we're gonna start with the huge reveal finally of Grand Theft Auto 6, and I'm gonna take a look at this article from Polygon. Pre-orders for Grand Theft Auto 6 just became available, I believe, yesterday or this morning at midnight, if you want to say that. And we finally got some price points, and we finally understand what the difference is between the standard base version of the game and the Ultimate Edition. Now, Rockstar did not invent the standard and like premium editions of games of their games. That's something that's been around for a little bit. Very few video game franchises have actually none, probably none, have the same like gravitational effect that a Grand Theft Auto game release has. And so a lot of attention is being brought to this. Rockstar has announced that there are the two versions that will be available for people to pre-order and pick up when the game drops this year, later on this year. The base version is $79.99, and the Ultimate Edition is about $20 more than that, $99.99. Now, before I go through with you guys what the differences between the two editions, besides the price, or why they're charging $20, let me also make clear that Rockstar has said that if you just get the base version of the game, you can upgrade later on, even after the release of the game. It's not just a pre-order thing. You can upgrade later on to the Ultimate Edition, so that you can also have access to the things we're gonna go through right now. What I don't know is if the price to upgrade from the base version to the Ultimate Edition, if that's gonna remain a $20 difference, or will it be more post release? You know what I mean? Like I don't know if they're trying to incentivize you to pre-order it now to take advantage of the $20 difference that will later be more. I don't know, but for now, there's a $20 difference. And before we go through this list of the things that they have in the Ultimate Edition and my thoughts on whether or not I think that that's a good idea or fair for us gamers, us fans of the series, let's not blink too fast and miss the fact that the base version of the game costs $80. The prices of games been seeing moves from companies to try to move that base price for a AAA title or a first party, title. We've been seeing the price point moving from the $59.99 to $64.99 to kind of $70 or $69.99. Now we have this $79.99, kind of a switch to Nintendo type of price here for what are essentially digital only games. No physical copies. There will be no physical copy of the game when Grand Theft Auto 6 releases in stores. They've also said that when you buy the case in stores, you're gonna open it up, you're gonna find a code, a download code. That's all it is. There are no physical copies of Grand Theft Auto, which for me, this is gonna be the first time that I buy a Grand Theft Auto that I don't own the physical copy for. But times they are changing. What do we really own? So, the Ultimate Edition comes with a bunch of things, places within the world of Grand Theft Auto 6 that you will be controlling the two main characters in. It unlocks certain locations within the city of not Los Angeles, but where the story takes place in Grand Theft Auto 6. And Jason and Lucia, those are the names. I don't think it's Lucia. I think it's Lucia. Jason and Lucia's, the city and the environments they're going to be traveling in Grand Theft Auto 6. When you get the Ultimate Edition, you unlock essentially certain items, certain vehicles, certain weapons, certain looks for your characters, but like literally locations. So let's just take a look real quick at this list that Polygon has compiled here. I was gonna go straight to the Grand Theft Auto site, but it's like very graphically heavy, and you gotta click through a lot of things to see each component. Even though visually is appealing, just for the purposes of just going through the list and being efficient, that's why I did it like this, using the Polygon article. So Grand Theft Auto 6 Ultimate Edition content. One of the things you're gonna be able to get access to is the 95 Grotti Cheetah, the Grotti Cheetah, which is a vehicle. All right, cool. So I would assume that this is the only way that you can get access to this type of vehicle, this model of vehicle in the game. That there will be no other way to unlock this in the game. Not a secret mission or a side mission or anything like that to unlock this vehicle. Now, one other thing. Rockstar has said that Grand Theft Auto 6 is a single player experience. So all the things I'm talking about here are only to unlock or have access to in the Ultimate Edition things for single player consumption. It's not like this is stuff that you're using in any type of multiplayer situation. Grand Theft Auto Online is something that might come down the road, the way that they did it with Grand Theft Auto 5. And the rumors about there being a co-op mode, online co-op, where maybe one player controls Jason, the other player controls Lucia, because a lot of what they've been presenting with these two characters is this kind of Bonnie and Clyde type of story with two main characters that seem to often go on missions together. A lot of people were believing that maybe there was going to be like an online co-op way to experience the story with one player controlling each respectively controlling each of the two characters, or one of the two characters. So all this stuff is for single player consumption only. But anyway, you got the 95 Cheetah, Hawk and Little Morgan revolvers. So like his and her revolvers, more of that Bonnie and Clyde type of situation where both players have not matching, but they have revolvers that are customized to the two different characters and their, styles and preferences or what have you. Personalized variants of the sidearms. So one that is distinctly Jason's and one that's distinctly Lucia's. A safe house or safe house vehicles where you can uh, have access to a motorcycle and a boat, particular boat. That safe house. I mean, I don't know if you only have access to it with the Ultimate Edition, or is this early access to it? Like, are you gonna eventually get this particular safe house? It's unclear. The Rideout Customs mod shop. So a lot of people are asking if modding vehicles altogether is that something that's going to be behind the paywall of the Ultimate Edition, or is this just one particular location on the map where you could customize your vehicle, but there might be others. Like maybe you could customize your vehicle in a particular way only at this place at Rideout Customs, but you can get other types of modifications on the vehicle, like different paint jobs, perhaps or whatever, at other locations. So that's still pretty vague. Like it's not very clear. One Eyed Willie's mod shop. This is for off-road modifications to vehicles. Well, it says here only open for business with Ultimate Edition. But is that the only way? Will that be the only way to get those types of mods on the vehicle? Is the question. The Nato Retro Build model kit. This is for low riding pickup and exclusive mods. These are three different mod shops. Well, this is a mod kit, but two different mod shops. Will there be another more like generic mod shop for players? I don't know. There's a Sarah's Unisex Salon to get signature styles for both Jason and Lucia. Open only for business for Ultimate Edition. Does that mean that there's not like a barbershop or something that you could go to for these characters to get, to change your look as well? It's not really clear. The Shih Tzu Squallow Watercraft. Um, that's another particular vehicle that comes with certain bonuses. You could dock it at Washington Beach. It's open ocean ready with an explosives laden weapons crate. So I guess maybe in this game, kind of like with Red Dead and your horse, you can store weapons in your vehicles. That's kind of cool. The Stock 305 clothing store, again, certain types of looks that are locked behind the Ultimate Edition. I doubt that that's the only place you can get clothing, though, in the game. There might be another place where you can go change the color of your shirt. Good Time Gear. This has you see the picture here of Jason and Lucia wearing that particular character. That Maka, the Gator character. 67 Vapey Dominator Buggy. This is a Mud Club monster offering impressive off-road handling. So another particular vehicle that comes with a garage in Watson Bay where you can store things as well. Electric Fang Tattoo. So this is like a place where you can go to get certain types of tattoos. Pit Youngin Illegal Goods Store. It says here, raid the compound of one of Southside Vice City's loudest and most socially active gangs and escape safely to score some special items and distinct contraband. So I'm guessing maybe that's a mission that you can only go on in the Ultimate Edition. Classic Car Collection. It says track down a variety of abandoned classic and work in progress project cars and revitalize them to their former glory in this special commission from eccentric collector and local fixer Wyman. So maybe you can only do these missions for Wyman with the Ultimate Edition. So all those things are behind the paywall. Oh, and if you pre-order, I guess either edition, you get access to this Miami Vice type of look for Lucia and Jason. Also, a 55 Vapey Stainer vehicle, and certain looks and hairstyles, and a weapon pattern for your gun. So all that stuff comes with pre-ordering, and then besides the Miami Vice type stuff, the last couple of things I read, all this stuff is behind the paywall of the Ultimate Edition. Now, after playing a game like Crimson Desert, where at least up until now, nothing has been behind the initial entry fee of paying for the game, nothing has been behind a paywall. And there's an impressive amount of content there for customization. You know, I understand these are two different budgets, two different sizes studios, and I understand all that. What I'm just saying is, coming off of a game like that, that I've put a lot of time into, I'm like, damn, all right, we got to pay a little extra for a little extra. Okay. But there are those questions of whether or not there will be other options to do certain mods to your vehicles, your weapons, or your character's looks. I'm pretty sure there will be, but it's not 100% clear. And, it might be. We know there's going to be a Grand Theft Auto Online. We know that. So I guess it would have been cool if they would have said, any of these looks that you unlock or have thanks to the Ultimate Edition, you can also use those looks on your multiplayer character avatar or something like that. If they would have said something like that, and you'd be like, okay, ooh, I could use this and show it off as well, not just in single player. Because I mean, the customization of the character, I mean, is one level of the immersion and the fun of the game. But I think for a lot of, not me, but I think for a lot of people, when they pay these premium prices for customization options on their characters, it's because they want to show them off. They want to express themselves to other players. So, not having that online aspect of the premium price, or at least them not confirming it, it's a little different. The game base level is going to cost you $80 anyway. That right there is higher than the current average price point for new AAA first party titles, AAA or first party. $20, is that enough? Is this enough a reason? Is this enough content to give you a reason to give Rockstar an extra $20? I mean, I don't know. That's up to you. Uh, Again, for me, I'm less enthusiastic to do something like that if there's not an online or multiplayer component to showcase stuff like these customization options that they're giving. But the game is gonna sell like crazy, and let's be real, this is just the first version of it. Grand Theft Auto 6 is not on PC yet. We don't know when it's gonna be on PC. And the new Xbox and the new PlayStation 6 are like right right around the corner. Like they're by next year, that's the rumor. Even in this current technology, uh, cost spike, whatever hell that it's been. I mean, look at the Steam machine. Even with the economy being what it is, Sony and Microsoft seem to be pushing full steam ahead to get new consoles out, probably by sometime next year. So I could definitely see another version of Grand Theft Auto 6 being sold. It'd be nice if maybe for previous owners of the game you get a free upgrade to the. Well, not very likely. They didn't do that for 5. I don't know why they would do it for 6. So Grand Theft Auto 6. These are the premium gets that you can acquire by paying the extra $20, the $99.99 price, USD. If you've heard all this, if you've been paying attention to Grand Theft Auto, if you plan on getting it, which version are you getting, and do you think that these premium editions are even worth it? Are you going to get the premium edition, the Ultimate Edition? Because to have all my money, Rockstar, and I love customization options. Giving. Like I don't know how you feel about it, but that's what's going down with Grand Theft Auto. Now let's move on to the other piece of news I wanted to talk about. Speaking of premium prices for fans and charging extra for extra content. Let's take a look at this tweet from Culture Crave. This was from yesterday. According to Culture Crave's, little post here via Deadline, which I looked on Deadline. I couldn't really, maybe I didn't scroll thoroughly enough. This Deadline post is like every hour. So there's a lot of tweets to go through. But anyway, Culture Crave says here, Avengers Endgame Encore. I'll go over what that is in a second if you're not aware. Avengers Endgame Encore is the title for the upcoming re-release. It includes a custom introduction, additional new footage, special end tag for Infinity Vision and IMAX releases only, and it hits theaters September 25th. So, in light of Avengers Doomsday coming out in December, right? In light of that, to get people hype, to get fans hype, and also, I believe, to push Endgame over the line to surpass Avatar, the Blue People Avatar, as the top grossing film of all time, theatrical release of all time. They're going to re-release Endgame with some new content that helps connect it more clearly for fans to Avengers Doomsday, which the directors of Avengers Doomsday, the Russo brothers, have said is a direct sequel to Endgame. Now, everybody and my mama has gone and seen Endgame in theaters, right? Endgame, people have gone and seen that. But because that released, a while back, and they want people to be as excited, hyped, and informed, because there's been a lot of Marvel releases between Endgame and now Doomsday. Not a lot of it good, because the multiverse saga has been kind of, let's say, uneven, to be nice, in terms of quality. So they want to make more concrete connective tissues, through lines, storylines, plot lines, and things like that to Endgame, which everybody enjoyed Endgame for the most part. So not only are they re-releasing Endgame in September under the moniker Avengers Endgame Encore, Disney is using this as an opportunity to push their new premium format called Infinity Vision by putting a special end tag just for folks that are able to get into theaters in those premium formats, the IMAX and the Infinity Vision. Now, what is Infinity Vision? IMAX you're probably familiar with, to make really simplify it down. You go to IMAX, you're going to a screen that's probably 3, 4, 5 times as big as a typical normal theatrical, screen is. It's usually you get like amphitheater seating, like very epic angles, and the sound quality's better, and the visuals are better because of the format, and you pay a higher price than a typical theater ticket for that larger, bigger movie experience. It's not like the 4DX type thing where your seat is rocking and there are different effects that are happening to immerse you into if you're watching Twister, there's throwing water on you and stuff and wind, and it's not like that. But in terms of just the visual, IMAX is the premium format most theater goers are most familiar with. Infinity Vision is Disney trying to put standards in place so that they can call a particular theater screen up to the Infinity Vision level of quality so that they can say this is a premium version to experience our content, our movies, and so we're going to charge you more for that. And why is Disney trying to do that? Well, Doomsday, I think, comes out December 18th, something like that. Comes on the same day as Dune 3. A lot of people have kind of affectionately called that day Doomsday, combining Dune with Doomsday, kind of like they did with the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer. You know, when they combined those. What was the term for that? What was it Barbenheimer? What did they call that? I forgot. Remind me. Anyway, some folks went to go see both the Barbie movie and the Oppenheimer movie on the same day. You can't. I mean, two very drastically different films, right? But you know, for Dune and Doomsday, Dune 3 and Doomsday, you know, people might want to go see that. But when those movies were announced and the release dates were announced and everything, Dune 3, is it Warner Brothers? Whatever. They were able to secure most of the IMAX screens across the country for their film's release. So you have two very possibly visually stunning, high visual effects, special effects types films. Disney wanted that premium format. They wanted, you know, because it's not IMAX screens are not common. You know, you need a lot more space, real estate to show these things. I live in the Bronx. We have movie theaters in the Bronx. It's not like you could just throw in an IMAX screen in one of those places. You have to have the seating. You have to have the space. You have to have the screen size. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just. So you have to go to the city usually for the IMAX experience if you're in New York. Usually, well, definitely for me in the Bronx there are none. There are no IMAX film screens in the Bronx. So Disney wanted to be able to put Avengers Doomsday on those IMAX screens as well to have that premium experience for fans. But Dune secured most of those. So what Disney did was then they're like, all right, we're gonna come up with our own premium tagline, our own premium format for screens that are a certain size, quality, I think seating the size of the theater itself and the sound quality. They're gonna qualify those particular screens in theaters that have those parameters and those specifications as Infinity Vision, and they're gonna charge a premium for price for that experience. I mean, basically, it's like okay, IMAX, which by the way, IMAX has their own standards and for what they deem, you know, this is an IMAX quality screen in terms of the size, the quality of the image and the sound and all that stuff. So Disney's like, all right, we're gonna make our own premium format then, since we can't get your IMAX approval and your IMAX screens. Well, all the other screens that aren't IMAX, basically, we're gonna call them Infinity Vision and charge a premium price there. And as an incentive, this is the part that pisses me off the most, though. As an incentive for Avengers Endgame Encore for the people that get to go to the Infinity Vision, and the IMAX releases, the basically premium screen formats, they're gonna get special content. They're gonna get a special end tag, which is basically like a post-credit scene. Which, if you're a Marvel MCU fan, like if you're a Marvel film fan, you know that the mid and post credit scenes are like what we've come to not only expect but anticipate. You know, there's plenty of memes of people like, you know, looking down on moviegoers who leave during the credits of a Marvel movie. Like, don't they know that, you know, we might see Thanos, we might see, you know, the Council of Kangs, you know, we might see Doom talking to Franklin. You know, like we we've become accustomed to sometimes corny, sometimes funny, sometimes that was it, you know. But still, we've been accustomed to these mid and post credit scenes as Marvel fans. So only for those who pay the premium price or who are able to get into these limited formats, because again, IMAX screens are limited. They're limited. I don't know how limited these Infinity Vision screens are going to be, but you know, let's say that most theaters don't have even the qualifications to deem their showings of this film as an Infinity Vision experience. So for fans that want to go see Endgame again to see this extra content, they're not going to be able to see that if they don't get into those premium formats. And I don't, as for movies, I don't think that should be a thing. I just finished talking about Grand Theft Auto and video games, right? I don't think movies should have DLC, not in the theaters. You want to put that in like a disc, a Blu-ray, bonus feature type shit. You want to do that? Fine. You want to give out free hats and T-shirts, exclusive Doomsday merch to the folks that get into the premium formats? Cool. But to also release exclusive content when the whole purpose, at least naively, right, as a fan, the whole purpose of this should just be, oh, okay, you're gonna re-release Endgame with the new stuff so that we see clearer connections with the next movie we're gonna also go see. All right, cool, cool, cool. But like, you don't give all those fans that same opportunity to experience all that extra content because you're keeping some of it behind essentially a paywall. That seems kind of dumb. That because my thing is this: you might get some fans who are like, okay, so if I can't see everything, I'm not gonna go see anything. I'll just go see Doomsday, right? You might get some fans who do that. Whereas otherwise, if everyone gets to see it, everyone's gonna go. You know what I mean? There's nothing to be on the fence on. You're gonna get the whole experience. I don't, I don't like this model, and I think it's even more. It's more bullshit when you think about the fact that Marvel, Disney, they've been able to work out for when Secret Wars comes out. You know, they're still gonna release Secret Wars on like IMAX. So like, if you're pushing this Infinity Vision as a premium format, but you're also still showing it on IMAX, then why have the Infinity Vision? Why even have that? Like, what is that? I don't know. It seems like I get that they're corporations and they want to make money. I understand all that. I just don't understand why they create FOMO or feelings of FOMO. Why would you create that sensation amongst a fan base who, first of all, you should be doing everything in your power right now to win them all back. You know what I mean? Because it's not like it's been a very shaky Infinity Saga. Brand New Day, Spider-Man Brand New Day is not doing this whole exclusive content shenanigan bullshit, and they're breaking records for pre-release sales of their tickets leading up to the release of that film. So there's a lot of excitement and hype. The Brand New Day trailer had, I think it was the most watched trailer in 24 hours in history for a movie, and that the percentage that it was number one ahead of what was the previous number one movie trailer, it like doubled. It like doubled the amount of views in that 24-hour period. Which we're probably not gonna see that again. Why? Because it had like a billion views. I don't think we're ever gonna get a movie trailer. Well, not in any of our lifetimes. Where you're gonna get like what, 2 billion views in 24 hours or three? Not that many people on this earth that give a shit or have access to the internet to do that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. There's a lot of excitement around Brand New Day, and we got none of these bullshit paywall shenanigans going on. So why do it for Endgame? Why do it for something that people have already seen? The fact that they even fucking going to see this again shows you that they're really hype. So why would you do this paywall shit for Infinity Vision and IMAX? Now, for all I know, the end tag is some bullshit. You know, some stupid scene that will ultimately just look at and be like, "Oh, that was it," because there have been Marvel mid and post credit scenes that were like that. For all we know, is some bullshit. But still, what if it's epic? What if it's hype? What if it's really good? You know, it's shit. I don't know. I don't think that they should be doing that. I don't think that's the way you go about not necessarily rewarding a fan base, but acknowledging that they're already excited about this. So why would you create this needless FOMO, this feeling of missing out for folk? These are the folks that are gonna go see this are your most rabid fans. You already have them. You know, I don't know. It just seems kind of cheesy. But you tell me what you think. What do you think about them hiding or keeping content exclusively for the premium formats? Do you think that I'm making too much of a big deal about this? It's possible that I am. But I think for something like this, for all the fans that are making it out there, you show them all the content, all the connective tissue to enhance the viewing experience that you're saying is important for your next film, right? Like everybody's going out to see this, then give them that. It's probably gonna get leaked on the internet anyway. Then these motherfuckers wonder why shit gets leaked, and it's because they do cheap money grabbing shit like this in this economy. It's not like Disney said, "Hey, we're gonna help the struggling movie industry, the theaters. We're gonna help them by paying for the infrastructure to put up these more premium screens so that the average moviegoer has a better experience or opportunity." It's not like they're doing that shit. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we'll see what happens with it. But Avengers Endgame Encore coming out September 25th. I will try to get into an Infinity Vision. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get into the IMAX. I will try to, but I don't know. If I can't get an Infinity Vision, I don't even know if I would go to watch the other shit. I don't know. I don't know. And I shouldn't be thinking this because this shouldn't have even be a situation, in my opinion. But anyway, all right. If you listening this long, appreciate you. Hope you have a rest of the evening that's a memorable one and that is cool and chill. I got graduation tomorrow, so not for me, but for students I work with and for. Excited for that. And Tuesday will be the next time I'll be streaming. Every Tuesday and Thursday, Slim at 7. And thank you for watching. If you watch this, hit a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, but you still found this somehow, maybe through my social media, subscribe. And if you like my content or what I talk about or how I talk about it or whatever, or if you just my friend, then share this. Share this with people. Share the link. I'm working towards, I gotta get production up. I got no sounds except my voice. Little by little, I'll work on that stuff. But for now, I'm just trying to build up the discipline and the muscles, to figuratively, to be consistent with creating content, with getting online, putting myself out there, and just talking about shit that I find interesting or fun, or streaming something that I find interesting or fun, or things like that. So yeah, again, thank you for listening, and I'm out.